or something like that. But all the sons are George Jr. Do you think a lot of mix-up happens there?
Yeah.
By the way, Mr. Thompson, did you fix your credit?
It doesn't stay fixed.
It doesn't stay fixed. Okay, so you might have to write to them and give all your identification information and see if maybe you could put a stop on anything going on your credit report without you first knowing about or something. See, because they change all the time. I don't know every rule, even though I wrote a book on credit, even though I trained it, I don't know everything. Do a little investigating and see what you could modify on your credit if they allow you, and do that. All right? So you get a lot of stuff on your report also? Okay. So here's what happens. Let's say, for argument's sake, what was your first name again? I'm sorry, Anthony. I'm getting at the age now where I suffer from CRS. Anybody know what that is? Can't remember. Sugar. I say stuff, but I heard somebody say sugar. I like that one. All right, so Anthony, you have these things that are on your credit report, and this goes to you. First name was? Eugenia. Okay. You were answering for Eugenia? So Eugenia, let's say somebody came to you for a mortgage or anything like that. He comes to you and he's got this boat that's on there and he says, it does not belong to me. Well, that's going to be a tougher case than if he had paperwork showing that it belonged to his father or something. So in your case, as a junior, if he says, no, that belongs to my dad or my son, here's the paperwork for it, it doesn't belong to me, we could rapid rescore that. Yours is going to be a little bit more difficult because we can't prove that it's not yours. It takes a little longer. But if we can prove that something doesn't belong to you, we could do that. A lot of times, there are people that have things on there from when they rented. Anybody here ever rent an apartment and then do the Friday night or Saturday night midnight special? So obviously you've never been involved with people that have moved out without paying their rent in the middle of the night. Charlie, Tony, come on over. I got a 6-pack of beer. I need to get out of here. I'm not paying my rent for next month. Anybody know people that have done that? Not yourself, right? If somehow your name is associated on that, and let's say you're not on the lease, but the landlord knows who you are because you've been living there with the person that's on the lease. You're on the lease, I'm living there with you, I'm paying you rent, we're paying the rent. I'm living there for a couple of years, and then we decide to skip out. They can't find out where you are or anything like that. The guy might try to put a judgment against me for $2,000 or something like that, right? I wasn't on the lease. If I prove that my name was not on that lease, I can get that removed in 48 hours. Rapid rescore, yes. Yes.
So if he lives in Arizona and somebody same day buys a boat in Florida, would it be easy to deduct it that way?
Well, I would think if you live in Arizona where there's no water, you're probably going to go to Florida to buy a boat.
But he's living there. I mean,
So maybe he's rich and he lives in Arizona and he has got a summer place in Florida.
yeah, but if it's a different address.
No, I understand. I like your logic, but do you see my logic?
I do. I do. But then again, you can look
I
at
know.
his income and say, does his income to afford a second boat like that, you know?
Yeah, people don't falsify documentation?
Right. I guess.
Yeah. See, there's so many things. We really have to have some kind of proof. I would love for you, I'm going to give you my business card, okay?
You talking to me or you talking to him?
Talking to you. My eyes are still crooked? All right, I'm going to give you my card. I want you to find out and research, because I can see that you'll do it.
Okay.
Because you get a lot of problems. It's a headache, isn't it?
You're lying.
So see what you can find out. You email me and let me know. I would love that, because you know what I'm going to do with that information? I'm going to share it with other students going forward. Fair enough?
Sounds good.
All right, and maybe it'll turn out to be a really good thing for you, that going forward your credit is really good from now on, just because you came to this class.
Or at least I get a new boat.
Or at least you get a new boat. Call me up because I like to fish, all right?
Can you give me a card too and give me some money?
I'll meet you over at the poker table later. I'll give you all my money. All right. All right, so let's see where we're at. We're doing good. All right, it's 10:30. We're here till 12 o'clock. Now's the time we're going to go over the credit report here. Yes?
You said you
Quite-
needed 2 highlighters, and you only talked about the blue.
2 highlighters. The blue one is if it's like your name or something that doesn't affect, but the things that affect your credit score, yellow.
Okay, thank you.
Yes?
Back to the letter,
Yes.
So that's really helping people to dispute things that are incorrect.
No.
What about for people who really were late and they're trying to...
No, you cannot dispute accurate information. However, let's say that you owed somebody money and they inaccurately reported something about that. That's an inaccuracy on your report. You're allowed. Do not say, hey, they're reporting that I owe them this and this. No, it's really this amount and this date. Don't do that. Now, here's what happens. Once they receive your letter, how long do they have to fix your credit? FTC has said about 30 days. It's not in the 1974 Act, but about 30 to 45 days they have. Understand this, that if you dispute something that is truly accurate, and it's from 2 years ago, let's say they go ahead and don't get an answer back from where they'll take it off your credit report, but it's not taken off your credit report forever if it's really accurate. If they report back 2 months later, it's accurate, it gets reinstated on your credit report. So understand that, right? Here, if you know something is really, truly not yours, I'll give you another paragraph that I write in there, all right? So in the letter, I'll say, please remove all negative info for this trade line permanently and forever. This one I usually write when I'm contesting how much I owe somebody. I'm writing to the creditor themselves, not to the credit bureau. So, for example, I've actually helped people fix their credit. I'm not in the credit repair business, but when I was writing my book on credit, after I had helped myself with my credit from what I was doing, I went to about 20 or 30 people that I knew and I said, hey, would you like me to help you? I'll help you for free. I wanted to see if it worked for other people, and it did. And because I knew it worked for other people under the Fair Credit Reporting Act, by the way, how many people here have ever read the Fair Credit Reporting Act? Am I the only one? How many people here have insomnia? If you have a hard time falling asleep at night, read the Fair Credit Reporting Act. It'll put you to sleep in 30 seconds. Are you having a hard time reading this, sir? You having a hard time reading this? No problem. Here's what I'm going to do for you. All right? I'm going to let you put this in your wallet. Take this home with you, all right? Was the handwriting? Yeah, I know. There you go. Put that in your wallet. What's in your wallet? All right, so, yes. I will repeat it. I'm going to say it again because we're going to talk about sending a letter to a collection, to somebody that's looking to collect money. And I'll teach you how to negotiate on that. And some information you probably can't give out to everybody, but if you're doing a first-time home buyers, you can. By the way, when should you check your credit other than once a year? Before you do any major purchase, approximately 90 days prior. You're going to PC Richards, you're going to spend $5,000 on a bunch of stuff. You're going to buy a car, you're going to buy a home. About 90 days prior, check your credit. Why? Well, first of all, you see your credit, right? But what's more important then? You have a chance to fix anything that might be wrong. Give yourself that room, that leeway. Yes?
How damaging is that to your credit?
We're going to go into inquiries right after this. I said I would do it before. I got off track. I'm sorry. But we're going to talk about inquiries about how it affects your credit score. Yes?
Hi, my name's Debbie.
Hi, Debbie.
I've had people tell me, it hasn't happened to me, but if you challenge something and the creditor, challenge something that's truly inaccurate, and the creditor comes back and verifies that it is accurate, is there a recourse for that?
Yeah, you'd probably have to go to court eventually, but I would write another letter, a stronger letter, in between that. And I'll talk about that in a second. Yes?
I wondered about the timelines, if you're going to cover when things fall off your credit.
If you have bad credit, it will fall off your credit after 7 years. But if something is 2 years old already and it's minor, $250 Verizon bill or a late payment on a credit card from 2 years ago, it's almost not even affecting your credit score anymore. It's very minor. The older things get, the less it affects the present. All right? So let's say, yes.
Excuse me.
Hi, what's your name?
Phyllis,
Hi, Phyllis.
if you have an inquiry on a late payment and you write a letter, is it possible that the date will change?
They could update some things. I'm going to talk about that, but it wouldn't be an inquiry on your credit report about that late payment. You're inquiring about it, but it doesn't show up as an inquiry. So let's say, for argument's sake, last question that I'm going to...
Let's say you're disputing something on a credit card,
Yes.
and obviously you've already written to the credit card, you should have already written certified
Right.
to the credit card company. Is that something, if it's still a dispute, should you send that back up to, along with this information that's going to the credit reporting agency? Should you include your copy of your dispute letter that went to the credit card company?
Include the copy to who?
Like if you in a dispute, you say.
To your credit card company. There's two types of disputes you're going to do. One is you're going to dispute things that are on your credit report at the credit bureaus. That's one thing. If something's inaccurate or something belongs to your father or something like that. But if something's in collection, you're going to write directly to the collection agency.
No, I'm just saying if it's something that's in dispute.
No, you don't want to have it in dispute there and write to the collection agency. You're going to make that decision.
No, I
If,
mean the collection agency.
all right, I'm confused.
Like Experian.
Okay, that's a credit bureau.
You're sending a letter to
Yes.
Experian at the credit bureau, and if one of the items that you want repaired is something that you are in dispute with the credit card company, for instance.
So you already are in dispute with that, with a collection agency or a credit card. Well, why are you in dispute with the credit card company? Because they reported you late? Well, these are important things, so that's what I want to get to. In other words, if you're disputing,
This isn't happening, but I'm
no,
just saying, should you include
no, you don't want to have two disputes out at the same time. You want to have a dispute. I apologize. I'm going to have to come to you and I'm going to have to ask you one more time. Explain to me because I'm confused.
No, I'm just saying, if you have a situation.
Right.
Where you're in dispute with a credit card company, okay, Macy's, whatever, and you are saying that you paid it, Macy's says you have not. You've already contacted them in writing about the dispute, but they're reporting it to the agency.
Right.
To the credit reporting agency, Experian, say. Do you, when it comes up on your report.
The answer would be no.
You don't include.
No, it's already in dispute with the credit card company. I don't want to dispute multiple times.
Backup for that goes to.
Yeah, just because I'm disputing there, but, okay? All right, so I'm going to talk about inquiries in a second, but let's talk about you owe money to somebody. What's your first name? I got to get closer. I'm so sorry. My apologies.
Debbie.
If you guys weren't in my class yesterday, I'll tell you why it's Debbie. Somebody had said their name was Debbie, whatever, and I said I did something really smart when I was younger. The first girlfriend I had, her name was Debbie. And then what I did for the rest of my life is I only dated girls named Debbie. Do you know why? So I would never call her by somebody else's name. If you've ever been called by somebody else's name, it's not good, right? So that's how that Debbie thing started. So tell me your name one more time. All right, Debbie. You're right. Okay, I gotcha. So Debbie over here owes $30,000 2 years ago to some company. You with me? Now they've tried collecting and you're not paying and everything like that. It shows off as a collection on your credit report and everything like that. Are you with me? Okay. Now you have a little bit of money. Let's say you got $30,000. Would you send it in and pay them off? No, don't do that. You want your dollar back?
I do.
Why would you like your dollar
I
back?
know the answer to this. Keep going.
Oh, it's like that. Was it Brooklyn in the house? South Philly? Queens. Far Rockaway. All right. All right, so we're going to see what the answer is. What would you say the answer is?
Talking about re-aging the account.
No. I like what you're saying, re-aging the account. Don't. Yes. I like the way you think, though. We could definitely have conversations about this stuff because you understand what's going on. Yes?
Negotiate with the company to get the amount lowered.
Okay, so I'm going to negotiate to get the amount lowered. I like that. That's a good start. What might I say in that letter? Say what? Please? Please? Pretty please? Yes?
Payment in full and take it off my credit.
Yeah, see, that's a little too direct and forward. I'm going to show you a softer way to get things done. And I'll give you some options. Options are always good, right? And did you say take it off my credit report? We are going to talk about that because that's the important goal. It's not just to negotiate a lower debt.
And unrate the account.
No, I'm going to have it taken off the credit report. So here's what I do.
But if it's 30,000,
Yes?
you can't do too much.